I've got some new species of velvet spiders to unbox. Welcome to the Tarantula Collective. My name is Richard, and today we're unboxing some new species of velvet spiders I just picked up from Tom Patterson. Now, these are all spiderlings, so they're going to be very small, but they're velvet spiders, so they're going to look awesome. I'm sorry, what's that? What are velvet spiders? I guess I could tell you that. Velvet spiders are from the family Eresidae, and there are over 130 different species in this family, divided up into about 9 different genera. And they can be found in Europe, Africa, and Asia. I even read somewhere that they found a species in Brazil, and they live in every type of environment, from desert to rainforest and pretty much anything in between. They don't get much larger than, slightly over ½ an inch in size. And an interesting fact about velvet spiders is shortly after the mother lays her egg sac, she passes away. And when the spiderlings finally emerge from the sac, they feast upon her remains. I believe it's called matrophagy, but whatever it's called, it sounds pretty metal to me. So we're gonna open up this box, see what these velvet spiders look like that just arrived in the mail, set up their enclosures, move them in, and hopefully get some pretty cool pictures. So step 1, let's open up this box. More stickers from Tom. Pretty cool. So there's 5 different species of Eresus spiders, which are the velvet spiders. I also couldn't resist, but he had an Aphonopelma johnnycashi. It was available, and that I had to get that. I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan. Also a huge fan of Aphonopelmas, so when I saw he had a sling available, that was like the whole reason I went and checked out his price list, because I was like, I want to get that, but let's see what else he has. We'll rehouse this guy last. Now, this isn't a paid promotion or a sponsored video or anything like that. I bought these with my own money. In fact, I don't even think he likes it when I make videos about getting spiders from him. If I or Tarantula Cat make a video about something we got from him, he gets bombarded with emails. So make sure you send him an email. I'll put his address right there and ask for his price list, because he's got some really cool species of true spiders, scorpions, centipedes, tarantulas, I mean, you name it. So let's get these enclosures set up and these spiders moved in. So the first species that we're gonna open up is the Eresus CF robustus. And a lot of times you see CF referred to as color form, but I believe what it actually means is confer. Essentially, it means it's very comparable to another already described species, but this spider in particular has not yet been fully described. So it may be a completely different species or just a color morph of an already described species. So for the enclosures today, since they are small, I am using these tarantula crib spiderling enclosures. I really like them because they provide plenty of ventilation. They've got magnetic lid, latches on there tight, the spider can't get out, and they're big supporters of the channel. So for the substrate, I'm gonna be using the Zoomed creature soil, and I'm gonna fill it up about 1/3 of the way. So if you're using one of these tarantula crib enclosures, I'm filling it up just above the logo. Now, these spiders are usually found in crevices and cracks, and they have a very disjointed, kind of messy web. So to simulate that in the enclosure, I'm just gonna be adding these little sticks, kind of put them in different places so that they have plenty of anchor points for their webbing. Then we'll throw in some crumbled up leaves and a little bit of moss, because they do sometimes like to incorporate sand and dirt and, just whatever moss or natural materials that's laying around to kind of camouflage their webbing. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit, kind of roll it up into a ball and stick it down in one corner. These tweezers I actually got from Eresus Spider Shop. They're really great for moving tarantula eggs or small prey or just trying to get in somewhere. They're very light and they're bendable, so they'll hold on to something, but you can squeeze all the way down and they're not gonna crush it. Now, I'm being very careful, not because this species is venomous or dangerous at all. It's just really fragile. I don't want to hurt them. Oh my goodness, it is so tiny. I don't even know if I'll be able to get a picture. Let's try it out. God, it's so small. I don't even know how I'm gonna get it in here. Well, I can't really climb the side of the enclosure, so I just gotta make sure that none of these sticks are anywhere near the air holes. Now, I don't believe that the vent holes are large enough for it to escape, but they're close. So I'm gonna be, just wanna make sure that I'm extra careful. These things are kind of rare and they're not cheap, so I definitely don't want to lose it. So I just push down all the sticks a little bit so they're below the air ventilation, and hopefully it'll be fine. But that thing is tiny. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is the Eresus species blue Sidi, S-I-D-I? I don't know. I am not a linguist. and I don't speak fluent Latin or really any other language. So if you know the correct pronunciation for these words, feel free to tell me down below in the comments, just like leave a phonetic spelling. I'm always interested to find out how other people think these words are pronounced. I mean, can you see how tiny that is? It's just like a little tiny speck. All right, so I got the enclosure set up. Now at this size, they can't really eat much more than flightless fruit flies. But as we discussed earlier, you know, the first meal they have is their dead mother. So you can kill very tiny crickets or roaches and drop them in there and they will eat them. You just got to kind of pull them out before they start getting really nasty. Let's get this one moved in. All right, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and build the rest of these enclosures really quick. We got 3 more to do, and I don't wanna forget. All right, the next species is the Eresus CF moravicus. Moravicus? We just gotta be careful pulling these tubes out. If you're curious on how to safely unbox spiderlings, I've got an entire video just dedicated to that topic. It goes through my whole method. I'll link that right above. So check that video out if you're a little nervous unboxing slings that are this tiny. I hope these pictures come out well. In case you can't tell, it is very difficult to photograph something this tiny. I mean, it's difficult enough to photograph anything, really, when you're doing macro photography, but when they're that small, oh man. So let's get this sling into its new home. And what I'm gonna do is try to get it to crawl on this piece of wood and then just put the entire piece in there. There we go. Oh no, not on me, not on me. Where'd you go? Yeah, it's in there. They're so small, and once they hit that dirt, they camouflage so well. Now this one is the Eresus species cinnaberinus. Cinnaberinus. I don't know. Picture time. Oh no, don't be walking around. Honestly, I don't know if any of these photos are gonna turn out well because they're so small. I just don't know if I'm able to get them in focus, but I am using this AK diffuser. I picked it up, actually I saw them on Instagram and it's working really well. I'm really enjoying the photos that I'm getting using this. Just kind of diffuses the flashlight so it's not so harsh. Let's get this little tiny itty bitty spider into its new home. It's actually on this little piece of paper towel, so I'm just gonna set that in there. And the last one. This is the Eresus CF illustris. From what I can tell, all of these little spiderlings have looked very similar, so I may have to wait till they get a little bit older, molt a few times before those colors really start to come through, so they look different. But I'll be sure to keep you updated. If you want to see pictures of all my velvet spiders and tarantulas and isopods and pretty much anything I have in my collection, make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's the Tarantula Collective on Instagram, and you can stay up to date with all the species in my collection. All right, so now we've got all the velvet spiders rehoused. Let's check out this Aphonopelma johnnycashi. And for this spiderling, I'll also be using one of these tarantula cribs enclosures. Now I'll leave a link down below in the description if you want to check out all of the enclosures they have available. I mean, they've got from tiny spiderlings all the way up to full-grown adults, terrestrial and arboreal. And if you use the code TCollectivE10 at checkout, it's going to save you 10% off your order, and it's going to help support this channel a little bit because it is an affiliate link. Now, Aphonopelmas, especially as spiderlings, they like to burrow a lot. So we're going to add a bunch of substrate. It's about 2/3 full with substrate. And I'm going to put in a couple of little tiny pieces of cork bark for it to use as a hide. I'll just break up a little bit of this dried leaf in there. And of course, a little sphagnum moss. Probably should have checked to see what size it was before I made its enclosure, but we'll do that now. Pretty much all Aphonopelmas look the same, but I'll put a picture of what it will look like full grown right up here somewhere. Safe and sound in its new enclosure. Now, most of the velvet spiders that I've got, they're a lot like the first velvet spider that I unboxed, and I'll link that video up above and at the end of this video if you want to see that. I've been advised to keep the Eresus species fairly dry. Any moisture they need, they'll just get from the prey that they're eating. In fact, having it too damp or too moist could actually be very detrimental to their health. So I'm going to keep them in these dry enclosures. I may spritz a little bit of water on the side, but I'm definitely not going to overdo it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, even though those velvet spiders were tiny. They were so tiny. But make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can watch these velvet spiders grow, because I'll be doing regular updates on them anytime something interesting happens, especially if they molt and really start showing those adult colorations. If you want to see my last velvet spider video, I will link that up right here. And as always, I appreciate you watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit that like button if you like velvet spiders, and I will see you next Tuesday.